So we're going to go to, on Mike's on, we'll just go to full screen and then click this one afterwards.
Okay.
All right, we're live.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're back. A little short break. So I'm at the Sword and Board, which is our local gaming store, with Cody, one of the managers here. Say hi, Cody.
Hey, how you doing?
And you got Duskmourn early? Is it out yet? Can I purchase this at your store now?
You can. Luckily, part of benefits of being a WPN store that hosts Magic events, we get things a week before release. So before you get it, say, on Amazon and Walmart and stuff like that, we get a week early. And we also get additional promotional things like buy box promos that you normally wouldn't get for buying offline or other big tickets, big name brand stores.
So big box stores get
Yeah.
them a week after you do,
Yes,
basically.
yes,
so you can purchase them here at your store now. You have base set boosters, play boosters, draft boosters, and this boosters, and these.
Yeah, the collectors. And of course, we have the commander decks. And then there's also a delayed product coming out in October. It's supposed to be more Halloween themed, but it's called a Nightmare Bundle. But yeah, no, the set's got a very horror theme. So if you like, not your traditional set like Innistrad where it's more, werewolves and vampires, it's more like slasher and like thriller, circa like 80s, 90s.
Yeah, 80s horror. Yeah, 80s horror vibe. And we have two collector boosters here that we're gonna unbox.
Yep.
So let's start with that. We'll go to click on TCG set. We'll do that. There we go.
Yep. Got Duskmourn. The box is really cool. And we're trying to look for textured foils that are like very.
Oh, like the mice guard stuff in Bloomborough that we
yeah.
pulled last time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be very. They're intense, and then there's these really cool, like very neon colored ones that you can pull exclusively out of this. So there's some exclusivities in this. The set's very interesting with like its aesthetic. There's some things that are like almost like comically funny. But there's also some variants of cards where the difference is like there's a creepy creature in the front of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the background we talked about that. I went to Magic headquarters for PAX, and they did a whole Duskmourn segment for us, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
So and just to be clear, these are the store's copies, not ones sent to me.
Yeah.
These are ones the store actually purchased from Wizards.
Yes.
So I just want to make that clear in the stream.
Yeah, because we also make sure these are going to probably directly go into our singles binders for people that are interested in this new set.
Right.
It's a really fun, especially if you're a fan of like Theros sets with God, they make collectors very thick. Good. Luckily, the set they did in a proper stream friendly opening. With the set, it's going to be a lot of mixtures between things that kind of be the survivor and then the horror slasher thing. So right off the bat, they bring back some evergreen mechanics like survival. But this is like some of the new ones. They're called new rooms. The way rooms work is you select one of the cards when you cast it. It's an enchantment. If you do it, it unlocks the door. So one side will be locked, the other side will be unlocked. And then usually have stack abilities, or they'll say when this is unlocked. So different abilities will trigger. So you good part kind of reminds you of the Ravnica cards where you select what side you want to cast. But when you cast it, instead of it being a spell that goes away afterwards, you can essentially get both sides of them. It's a fun new mechanic, and they also put something in the center of the card to kind of separate the two rooms. Because there's some back-to-back ones. So you might be seeing me turn the cards around sideways a lot because there's a decent bit of them. But there's fun things. There's like a glimmer light, so it's like a flashlight, but not a flashlight. So the idea for this place is it's a demon got kind of trapped into a mansion. And it's like you have unlimited power in this mansion, essentially.
Yeah, the mansion's a new plane, right?
Yeah.
That's the
and
whole
so
idea.
it keeps expanding it. So it's like, well, if I'm confined with this, I'm going to keep making it bigger. So it pretty much like the idea of like Ravnica is a giant city.
It's a giant building.
Yeah, so this is like a giant building, but it's controlled by a demon. So you'll see a lot of cards that'll say things with enchantments. So if you like a Theros, there'll be a lot of things that do a lot of enchantment-related things. So you'll see cards that probably going to say enchant creatures a lot, but a lot of them are fairly simple. This one's just pretty simple as long as it's enters the battlefield, creature has hexproof and +1/+1, so a one-mana enchantment that kind of uses like a good defensive thing. The enchantment creatures are going to be abundant in here, especially with the nightmare, horror, and stuff like that. This card's very popular because it's not Annabella, it's Arabella. The point of this, people actually want to build this for Commander. I know there's like 2-3 people want to build this right now. When it attacks, it does X damage equal to essentially having a creature you have 2 or less. So you just kind of build abundance of like small
Small creatures like dolls, like basically for the doll theme.
And then, of course, for green, this multiple module card that does a whole bunch of like destruction things, very common. I like all these arts are kind of bright, but there's definitely a lot of fun. All the arts kind of have this persistent demon, which is like the demon that exists here. Winter's one of the new characters from this set. They have two versions. There's the one in set and one in the commander decks. And then you have some of these commander cards, which are going to be, again, very enchantment themed heavy. So this one, other enchantment creatures, again, have flying. And there's 4 commander decks for this set too. There's a lot more 2-color commander decks. Have been definitely going more towards that 3-color. When it's battlefield, manifest. They've been using more manifest recently. This card's cool. Gives you very much a what's it called? Basilisk color, gives lifelink death touch, but +2/+2. It also comes play attached, which is pretty awesome. Oop. Then also for all the rooms that
they're
come,
enchantments basically. You pay for it. They had cards similar like that in the past, right? You could pay 2 costs for different enchantments, right?
Yeah. Well, this is like the new thing with the enchantment where you have to choose both of them. So this one's pretty cool. Creatures you have Convoke, and of course all rooms I think have their normal version, and then they have a borderless version. This will be the borderless version. Ooh, that's cool. Also, they do these like 90s like VHS glitchy looking aesthetic.
Oh,
to it.
nice, yeah.
So it even has like a little knobs and everything. Of course, a little Gremlin token. It's like me when I wake up. And then a Glimmer token. Glimmers are like these positive spirits, and then there's, of course, nightmares and horrors. That's a fun fact. They're definitely making much harder to open.
Big thick packs to protect the cards.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, if you're spending $25-ish a pack, it makes sense because you don't want these things to get damaged. Probably going to kind of go through most of the commons and commons pretty quickly. Most of them are pretty simple. They have ward a lot. A lot of these stuff cares for when they enter doing something. Enchantment's going to be, again, the most abundant. And then they do definitely these very twisted abominations of like ideas. And the funny thing is like, this thing just when it enters, or when it dies, you gain 2 life. It's not like it's called a long deck. And there's some things that they take ideas from like cryptids and various things like that. This one's pretty funny because it's enchanted creatures lose all abilities, becomes a toy artifact, power 2 or 0/2. As long as it's enchanted, creatures face down, it can be turned face up. So it makes it so people like these type of cards because they use them like in Commander a lot to kind of shut off people's commanders so they don't do anything. Dread. Some of this art is also like, they definitely push the idea of like horror and themes, stuff like that, to different takes. So the fear of infinity, so it's a thing that's indefinitely eating itself. But so when it enters, it can't block, has fine lifelink. When enchantment, a lot of things care for enchantment. So when this enters and when you fully unlock a room, you may return it from your graveyard to your hand. So kind of has a definite under the skin. Manifest is going to be very common in this one too, because putting a lot of cards from top of your deck face down. It's not kind of runs into very much like the morph mechanic, but more random on what it is. Same Forest. Yeah, then I like how it typically has like the nerdy guy. So it kind of has like your typical horror setup where there's like the one that's a little nerdy that has.
Oh, the
like
jock, the nerd, the final girl, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, so it's very consistent. Then of course they have this is one of the commanders from the new commander decks. This one is landfall, but also just manifesting, so it's pretty cool. Of course, Magic has to be careful with their Simic cards because we have recently with Nadu being a very strong card. Again, I like this like almost like kind of gives like a Blair Witch like distorted like VHS like out of focus light color. Like I think they did a really good job of like capturing a idea or an aesthetic pretty well. And these are some of the new ones. The base card for this is kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, he's inflating heads.
Yes, so you just the Jolly Balloon Man. But yeah, I like these. So they have a lot of these cards in this like yellow, purplish colors and this very black background. I think it's really neat. Oh, cool. This is a guest card, Maddening Hex. A Enchanted player casts a non-creature spell, they roll a d6, and it deals damage whatever they roll. This is pretty neat. Insect tokens. And everything's very dark. And again, I think it's really awesome. Yeah, everything is like, it's definitely...
Oh, that's creepy.
They're trying to definitely hit like as many horrors as possible. Like, I think they delve deep into like trying to find even like niche like fears.
I want to see that. I want to see that card. That card's awesome.
Yeah, and there's some other cards there too.
Oh, gross insect. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so if there's like a fear that people can't have, they try their best to do everything. So I think also in the release of this, they also announced a Chucky secret layer. So these are some new interesting lands that are unique for draft. It's kind of hard to read because the foiling's kind of a lot, but the ways they work, so there's plenty of lands in draft that are interplay tap, but they tap for 2 colors. With these, if a player has 13 or less life, they interplay untapped. So it's also using the number 13, which is typically unlucky.
Yeah, right. 13th floor, 13th day,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Rats, even like the rats are like kind of like not even normal rats. Like it has.
Are those ravenous rats?
It's Insidious.
Oh, they cost the same as ravenous rats.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do they do?
And then there's that's kind of cool.
Wait, pass me that red card. I want to see what it does.
Yeah, it has I think Dread.
But when it dies, manifest Dread. Oh yeah, Dread's their new mechanic. Right.
They do. I think the arts from this is very. I think luckily the set definitely expanded people's like artistic like takes on things. Yeah, even like this, like the art's very like really good foiling on it too. Yeah, good glimmers are like the positive things within this the mansion. I love this art. This art's. I love the colors on it. It's also just a giant crab skull. When it enters, when an enchantment you control enters or you fully unlock a room, they mill cards. So it's very fitting for the milling crab thing, which is very popular. It's been
I do like mill. Mill deck's fun.
beastie breakdown. But you're going to see a lot of consistency with like these like things that care for certain when enchantments enter. Yeah, so usually I think most of these cards have a when this door unlocks something happens, and then a stack ability. So this one is usually the cheaper ones are the easy unlockable ones. The higher cost ones are going to be the ones that kind of have a consistency. And so unlocks return creatures to hand. When more creatures deal combat damage to player, you draw a card. Yeah, and you'll see consistently with these full art ones, you'll see this the main demon in the back. Also, they brought back ley lines. So ley lines are enchantments that if they start in your opening hand, they go directly in the field, as long as they're part of your opening hand. All of them are new except for the black one, which has been consistent since original Ravnica, which is Leyline of the Void. Yeah, this one, it's an interesting one. Like, this one lets you essentially break the creature type rule. Like, everything's going to be that creature type. But yeah, this one's part of the new Dimir set commander deck.
Oh, that stupid meme. Very demure, that dumb meme that's going around everywhere right now.
And I think I saw someone was like playing control and removing everything off the field. Oh, very, very demure. I was like, yeah. This one I know has a pricey one if you get the Japanese showcase of this one. But this one's pretty cool. Players, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Really good.
Just a creature? You put it down on the board? Okay.
And then whenever it dies, if it was a creature, return it back to the battlefield under its control. But it's an enchantment. So if you kill it, it just comes back just as an enchantment. So.
And which makes it harder to deal with.
Yeah, so it's like, it's hard to remove, has a really good static ability. This one gives you very strong fire ice. And there's very few of these, but this one is one of the few that happens to be multicolored. Just static ability over here is pretty good for 5 mana. No maximum hand size in the beginning of your end step. You draw a card, which is good, especially if you're trying to do like control aspect. And then when you lock this one, it deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature. So usually you want to play this one, build up a hand, and later at sorcery speed you can unlock the room to deal damage. That's really pretty. Very zombie. Looks like a metal cover for like a Slayer album.
Oh,
or
it does.
something.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Manifest Dread X, where and then put X one counters on each of those creatures. It's double X, so it kind of gets expensive, but it's in green, so green can make mana with no problem. That toy is creepy though. Very
Very demure.
Yeah, very demure. I hope not.
Dude, that's rad. That is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. It has eyeballs.
Yeah, it's like they definitely push the idea of like anything that you could see. There's even some slasher things in here. Of course, you have to put murder in this set. Murder is a standard card for this. Again, more creepy dolls. And this would definitely fit in with the other one.
Oh wow, a comet like your particular lighthouse seems really good for like.
Well, yeah, I think those cards. Yeah, in Commander, those cards are not great because getting something down to 13 life is a little harder. But in I think drafts is way easier, and then even maybe for like because they're common, so you can do like poppers too. And it's a gym and a weight room. When you unlock this, search your library for a land, put it in the battlefield tab. But then the other one is when you unlock this, or so this one's not as crazy as the other ones because they have to double unlock, but it's also a common, so it makes
I feel like the room things are kind of like they're like it's a new mechanic, and not really because there were enchantments that they released that did the same thing. You pay for one, and then you can pay for the other later.
Yeah.
Like they're just calling them rooms now, but maybe the keyword might have some bearing on certain things.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cards in the set that says when you fully unlock a room.
A room, okay, yeah. Okay, that's what it is. So the room keyword is new, but the cards are the same. Okay.
But yeah, a lot of this stuff is, of course, semi cards. I have to get too very wordy, but you'll see other demons or minor demons. I like the eyes in that one. If you could pick it up. But
dude, I lost my. By the way, I have to say I lost my shit when they announced the real Ghostbusters secret lair.
yeah,
I'm having Casey. I'll be in Japan when it announces.
Oh,
so I have to.
okay.
Casey, order the real Ghostbusters things for me quickly, like as fast as you
yeah,
can.
and especially because now with secret layers, they do a limited amount of them. They used to be printed demand, so if 100,000 people wanted it, they'll make 100,000 of them. But only 5,000 people, they'll only make 5,000 of them. That's why some of them very random, like the Godzilla ones, randomly like
Foil. There's foil and non-foil,
Yeah.
right? It's the only two
Yeah.
versions they make. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one, this is creepy. When enters, draw a card, then discard a card unless you control a creature with power 2 or less. Another creature, okay. Again, this one probably shows the best of the demon. So far.
Oh yeah, he's the main villain. He's in a commander deck as well.
Yeah.
I believe,
this
yeah.
will be- whoa, a 5-color one. I never noticed. It's all card.
Oh whoa.
Enters battlefield, rule top 7 cards of your library, put all enchantment cards from amongst them in your hand, and the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. Tap, lock, or unlock a room, target room you control. That's cool, because you could, like, I was like, why would you want to lock a room? Like, oh, because some will have when you unlock it. So this would be, if you want to do 5-colored rooms, this would be the command you want to run. Even though it's in the set, Formless Genesis. It's a Changeling. Kindred, that's cool. Create X shapeshifters with death touch where X number of land cards you give. That's also has retrace, so you can always cast it again by discarding a land.
Cool art.
Let's put those cards in there. Split up. I love this. Whatever happens to you, you need to stick together. But it's, I think, did really. Ooh. These are some of the new lands. There's been other ability cards like this, but I like the fact that you tap for a color, you tap for another color, if you control another land type. Well, this is really pretty. Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, you lose 2 life. So this definitely goes for like a good demon deck. And the other part is when you unlock this room, you make a 6/6 demon. You're flying. Pretty good. Even the treasure token's creepy. It's like all the coins have like people's faces on it. Oh yeah, Nico's in the set, so Nico cares about shards, which are enchantments. So far this box has been pretty interesting. No texture cards yet, but that's I think a low pull rate. And then go with this one. Kind of go through most of these commons and commons, so it doesn't spend too much lingering on it. So we can spend more times on the rares. When it dies, it deals 1 damage to the target again left. So it's a cute little small one that could definitely be expendable. Trapped in the screen, so they even have TVs here. Enters XL target. Okay, it's just like an O-ring, but the enchantment itself has wards, so even to remove it takes a little bit more extra. Piranha fly? Okay, flying piranhas. Okay, that sounds horrifying.
What's scary? Piranhas. What's even more scary? What if they could fly?
Yeah. Once they don't need to be in water. What do you mean they don't need to be in water? So that's run every quarter. I think they do like these really cool, like they definitely have some like claustrophobic looking things that makes it feel like impending, like there's nothing, everything feels like it's finite.
Do you feel like this set's going to be really popular, like as MH3 or?
I feel like it could definitely, like every set, I think luckily Wizards does very well. Even with like other IPs like Dungeons & Dragons, they do really good jobs delving into other aesthetics and make sure each set feels definitely unique from another one. Because this year we've had Eldraine, which is like Grim Fairy Tales, and we had Outlaws of the Junction, which is a very Western themed one, and then they have Murders, which was based around like a clue idea, so like a mystery, and then you have Bloomberg, which is very like Red Wall. So each set has been very drastically different from each one, and this year they've also done like a lot of new plans they've never explored. That's cool. That's
Yeah, but like MH3 like had a lot of those shock lands, dual lands, that were like amazing in Commander, 200 other lands that people were trying to chase, right? And they reprinted a bunch of stuff, which is why people were like opening a bunch. That was the big thing, right?
The thing with that one is because this set, they will make premier sets, so standard sets, a little bit lower in power, primarily because if they make it as powerful as that one, because that one is meant for the modern format and Commander, so it's only for the 2 oldest like formats of Magic. Well, this one, it's standard, so it's legal in standard, pioneer, modern, and everything. So
what's the difference between standard and modern?
Standard is a rotating format. So as of now, it's a 3-year rotating format. So it's only the 3 last years of Magic, and they rotate every fall. And then modern is a non-rotating format. So that's from 2003 to now. So it's the last 21 years of Magic.
I always thought standard and modern were the same. I guess they're just different, slightly different.
There's a lot with Magic. I think the more got Toby. I found Toby. Yeah. With Toby, Beastie Befriender, enters and create a 4/4 beast. This creature can attack alone. As long as you control 4 more creature tokens, creatures you control have flying. So this is really good for like if you're trying to like a flying deck. I like it's just a little creepy Jack-in-the-Box. I had the Blue Man, but foil this time. That's kind of cool. They definitely, I was wondering how these cards look foil. We haven't seen any of these yet in person, so.
We got to see their whole process and how they get like the test back in printed card form.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things that they've done.
And how they shred them afterwards, which is like, oh!
Yep. Because if somebody gets it, they're
selling it for $100,000. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
They're still the same. I wonder if it's still in circulation, but it was a specifically for one of the first time they made Mana Crypt, which is now a Commander staple for like competitive play. They straight. Well, I got the same land twice. It's a monkey toy. Dies 6. Okay, that's been solid. But no, this card's actually speculated to be really expensive because what it does, it's a 1-mana target creature gets +3, and when it dies, you just make another creature. So it lets you be super aggressive, and you get a body off of it too.
Oh wow! So the value we talk about we talk about value on the tabletop, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's clearly a Stranger Things ripoff, right?
Maybe, who knows? They work within the parameters.
Right, yeah. I think I asked that question. I was like, how do you guys get away with like doing stuff like this without having to pay royalties to something?
Yeah.
Our lawyers are very good. That's
yeah. This art's awesome. Do not open.
Oh, sick, yeah. I see like the kind of the foiling is like only on certain parts of it.
I love when cards do selective foiling very specifically to the point that it just makes it feel more in-depth. I think cards like that are just amazing. But yeah. Well, there's it. Finally, this one. I think we've pulled finally all the Florid lands. Unstoppable Slasher. Death Touch. Zombie Assassin. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they lose half their life, rounded up. Whenever Slasher dies, if it has no counters on it, return the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with 2 stun counters on it. That's pretty good. Demonic Covenant. But yeah, there's a lot of things in a lot of games, I think. I mean, like one of the more contentious things, what was it? Was it really this year when Power World came out? I think it was. It's early this year.
They're suing they're suing them right now, and it's hilarious because everyone was screaming and kicking for them to do it immediately, and then like Nintendo's like, give it time.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to wait until it settled until they could get a big financial number, and now they're gonna ask for like whatever 50% or whatever they made. It's gonna be
Yeah. Whenever Screaming Nemesis enters, let me go back. It's a 3/3 haste for 3, not bad. Whenever it deals damage, it deals that much to any other target. If players don't damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. So whenever this creature deals damage, you can do damage equal amount of damage to any other target. And we do it to player. That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. They definitely make everything like very wispy and like it's one of the few cases where I think in person it looks pretty, but it's very.
Oh yeah, it looks very dull, but like it looks nice, like to me and you.
It's haunting, yeah. Which I think it's doing. Well, that's a pretty cool insect. It's like pretty and terrifying.
Wasn't like a moth symbolize death in like a lot of cultures?
Yeah.
Or is a bad omen or whatever?
Maybe. This is where my horror knowledge definitely is very lackluster. I'm like, oh. But it's fun. This card was like the poster card for the set, but it's just a common, which is like okay. But it'd be fun during like Commander, or not Commander, Sealed and Draft, which we are doing today and tomorrow and Sunday. We do for every release, we do that weekend of a pre-release. So we also do, if you participate in multiple of them, each consecutive event you do gets discounted.
Remember, support your local gaming stores, please. That's a big thing. We want you to support them.
Especially if you like new sets like this, you want to get it early, and especially, luckily Wizards of the Coast allows us to sell everything preemptively early, so we have some singles, like everything you sell on stream will be available for purchase. And then also we have all the other products here as well. With the Leyline Void, really good card. This is the only Leyline that's never changed for its color. It's pretty good. Star Athlete, there's your draw.
Oh, extended art, right?
Yeah. Whenever attacks, choose up to one target online permanent. You control may sacrifice it. If they do, if they don't, it deals 5 damage to that player. That's not bad for a 3/3. Also Blitz to give it haste. Oh, the Unstoppable Slasher with the altar. That's kind of cool. Like has a blade for a hand. Leyline Void extended art. Okay. Likely this one, Leyline Void's played like in whatever format it can always be played in. I like if you play Legacy. There's a playset of Leyline Voids almost every single sideboard deck. Oh, that's awesome. That's actually a good card. We got the Japanese showcase art. That's awesome. Actually, I think that's.
Oh, sick. There you go. There you go. It's about time you got some good cards. The last couple of collectibles you've opened for the stores were really, you were pulling great.
Yeah, I think it was late for the Bloomborough when we got lucky and we got the Liliana, which is still like a $250 card. But this one's awesome. The art. So it's a Japanese artist.
What's the value on that card? Do you know? The top of your
some of these go up to like somewhere between $50 to $100.
Oh wow!
So this one's definitely a big hit on this one, and it's a good part too. That's awesome. Like very rarely do you see stuff. Of course, it has this roll line on it, like every other card in Magic. But that's definitely a hit. Those are very limited. I think we opened some packs early preemptively when we first got the set. We did not get any of those cards. Those are like that's like the equivalent of like the raised foil from Bloomborough. There's only 5 of them, I think, too in the set. So.
Oh wow! You already got one of them. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's.
Well, we are opening a lot of product.
Yeah, but this is still the first box, so yeah, it's awesome. Bad. Start for the room. I do like this glitchy like thing because I like that aesthetic personally a lot. Terramorphic Expanse.
It was funny. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna have my samples on the thing when I could have been doing them here.
Yeah.
But we're doing your stuff first because this timing did not work out.
Yeah, it happens. Veteran Survivor. I like these little small, cute little creatures that are just horrible things. That like, it's like the thing you would die to in like a and like the non-named character would get killed by it, and to show like these are threatening. That's really cool art. It's very active. I also like my favorite thing too with like current Magic artists is that they'll have their username instead of their actual name. So this is Wolf Skull Jack. Really
Wolf Skull, you go to Wolf Skull Jack. Never let you down.
Yeah, the art looks beautiful. I love it. All right, split up. We've pulled the showcase for this one. This one's pretty cool. Module card. So it's destroy all tapped creatures or destroy all untapped creatures. The Lord of Pain. Human Assassin. Is it the giant hand?
Not legendary assassin. Okay, so you can't use it as a commander.
Oh, this is legendary creature. So you can have the Lord of Pain as your commander. Menace, your opponents can't gain life. Pretty good. When a player casts their first spell each turn, choose another target player that Lord of Pain deals that much damage to that mana value to that chosen player. So it makes it so if you start casting those higher value cards, it's like, well, you do it. Someone's taking damage.
Good commander or no? He's in a commander deck, I believe. He's one of the alternate commanders in the commander's deck.
That's cool. Winter, we pulled the normal version of this card. Again, I like this art. It's really cool. And so we pulled all potential versions of the Slayland and Void. That's awesome. But yeah, I think out of the Japanese showcase card, this set has been. I think it definitely hits a little bit of every aesthetic. So like, if you could think of something that just would be a horror theme, it hits in every way. So like, if you think like body morphine, dysmorphia, like stuff like that, there's eeriness, there's like wide open spaces. So if anything you could think that would definitely make somebody unsettled, there's definitely in here. But yeah, there's all these enchantment creatures. Unfortunately, the one card we got was that Japanese showcase card. I would like to explain the card, but it has a pretty unique mechanic. It's like suspend, but the creature's on the table. And it doesn't count as a creature until all these suspend-ish.
So what is it on the table?
It's just an enchantment.
Oh, it's an enchantment, and then it becomes a creature. Okay, so like, dread. Yeah, that's the dread mechanic, right? Like it's coming in, it's menacing or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's called impending. Fear of being hunted. That thing is horrifying. It's like a skull dog. Must be blocked if able. That's kind of cool. This is the one that kind of, for copyright infringements, let's play a game. It's just literally let's play a game.
Oh yeah, well you can't trademark something that generic.
Yeah, I know, but
as much as corporations would love to, Disney would trademark everything if they did that. Yeah,
it is, but it's like it's like so synonymous. Like if you say that, people are like, oh, I know what you're talking about. The Meat Hook Massacre 2. This one, they made sure that it didn't get banned. So this one has two different arts. There's this one where you just see the person, the Meat Hook Massacre, in front of his like chopping table. But there's another one that has this like creepy like creature in front of it. But this one's a definitely a cool one. It has good static abilities, but they definitely lowered its power down from the previous one that got banned out of a lot of formats. The Mind Skinner. That sounds horrifying. Can't be. Oh, this one's amazing. So this one's a 3-drop creature, 10/1. It can't be blocked, but instead of if a source you control will do damage to your opponent, you prevent that damage. You just mill that person instead.
Oh, so he mills 10 cards?
Yeah, if he does, or any of your sources would do damage. There's some cool things people were talking about playing this, and you're running a card called Dress Down, which is an enchantment. All creatures lose their abilities. So you do attack, can't be blocked during the block phase, flash in the enchantment, it loses ability, so you just do 10 damage.
Oh, okay, well that's still catastrophic.
Oh yeah, no.
On turn 3.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Funeral Room, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life again left. That's pretty good. Pretty much like a Blood Artist. Another one is, when you unlock this room, return all creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's, both sides are really solid. Again, the snake. I know this one, Japanese showcase one, is like $80+ I think. Almost done with box 1. I'm trying to keep on trying. Manifest Dread. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot more of these. A lot of these commons and commons. You usually have like enter the battlefield effects, looking for creature enchantments when they hit the field to do something. But a lot of it's going to be also a lot of enchantments you play, enchant creatures.
Yeah.
You got a piggy bank. When it dies, you create a treasure token. It's also not bad.
Oh, treasure tokens tap for mana, right?
Yeah, you tap sacrifice them. This is crazy. The thrice called. Okay. Even like some like uncommon legendary creatures like look like they have like this intense like backstory behind them. I like this one. Like so they definitely again they for nightmares they've hit as many nightmares as they can. So this is my favorite one is fear of failed tests. So it's just the idea of failing a test, like being so everything they have like any nightmares. I think there even might be one for like teeth falling out, falling. So anything you would have like a nightmare of, they've made a manifestation of it. So this is the idea of having a nightmare that you go to class and you're like, you know, even though you might be in your 30s, like, oh crap, I didn't study for this test in high school. Why am I in high school?
Why am I in high school?
Yeah, so they've definitely hit all this. Walk-in Closet and Forgotten Cellar. This one's cool because it's 3 mana, it's just a kind of crucible of worlds, so it lets you play lands from graveyard. And then Forgotten Cellars, when you lock this, you may cast cards from your graveyard this turn, and if a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. The only problem is this one costs a lot of money to activate, and then you get to cast cards, but I think it's cool. Amorphous Fanatic. Enters return up to 1 creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield and with lifelink. That's pretty good. Miracle is pretty cool, because Miracle is, if you draw for the first time this turn, it's the first card you draw this turn, you can pay for that cost instead of the 6. This one's cool. Search your library for a demon, reveal up in your hand. You have Delirium. You can search for any card instead. Enduring Vitality. The Endurians are usually the more positive things, and then the fears are the negative versions. And suit up, that's the last one. We're almost done with the first box.
Yeah, the collect boosters go a lot faster because there's not 36 cards in them.
Yeah, we also just have to check for pretty much the rare of each. Because the commons and commons, they're cool and all. There's definitely some fun ones. I'll definitely stop on those ones that are a little more interesting. Give it a violence, not bad. Friendly Teddy. It feels like it's not friendly. When it enters, when it dies, each player draws some cards. Okay, definitely, it's very group huggy. Again, this very slashy, glitchy art. It's really cool. Also, like there's just like a random windows that kind of like appear to like random force and whatnot. Ethereal Armor is a crazy card to get reprinted for the set. This card was really strong. I think it potentially got banned out of other formats. But it gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control when you enchant a creature. So it itself is a 1 mana 1/1 first strike. But if you have multiple of them, they just kind of accumulate. And then we get to rares. We pulled the other one, but I like this art a lot. It's when you get a search your deck for a demon, but if you control 4 more different cards in your graveyard types, you get to search for any card. Lethal Arsonist. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, it deals damage equal to the power of that. Deals this power to that thing. Also, doesn't die, so when it dies, it comes back with a counter. Peer past the veil. I like the colors on this one.
Oh yeah, the cool TV one again.
So 4 mana, discard your hand, then draw X cards where X is the number of card types among in your graveyard. So if you have a Delirium deck, this one could very pop off. Got this one foil. And then we have Dazzle's Theater. Yeah, I think we got this one too. I think it's cool. It's just like a little creepy. You can also see, like, at certain angles, see like a shadow of it behind itself. I think it makes it very interesting. And this is the last pack for the first collector booster box.
Yeah, we'll do play boosters when I get my stuff in, because that stuff takes a lot longer to go through.
Start with the monkey.
Cool spirit art.
Yeah. These lands are really cool. Final Vengeance is another reprint. You can sacrifice a creature or enchantment, and it has 1 black mana to exile creature. This little spider's cute. But it has random eyeballs on it everywhere, which makes it kind of interesting. Under the Skin, Manifest Dredge, you may return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So let's grab back pretty much anything from your creature-wise, or land, or enchantment. This card is interesting. I have to find out why this is important, like relevant to the story, because this character is canonically dead and died over a year ago, like set wise.
Yeah, but the ghost is in the plane, right? That's the idea.
I think so. Yeah. But sagas are usually these things that tell a story, so it's something like within the playability of the card kind of explains it. But
Sagas were introduced in Lord of the Rings, right?
sagas were introduced in Dominaria, the 2018 set, because sagas and then like historic was like a thing. Suspended sentence, destroy a target creature an opponent controls. The player loses 3 life. Exile this with 3 time counters on it. So, okay, so
Keep going,
yeah. So you can keep casting this. So you can cast originally, and then you get to cast it every 3 turns essentially. This one, Marvin the Murderous Mimic. That's kind of cool. Awesome. Oh yeah, this card, for test purposes, has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as the creature. Undead Sprinter. It's a 2-mana trample haste. Not bad. And then you may cast it from your graveyard if a non-zombie creature you control died this turn. If you do, and it's with a 1/1 count on it. So this thing is very persistent. I also am a big fan of Rakdos. Nashi, the Searcher of Darkness, or Searcher in the Dark. Whenever it does combat damage to a player, you may mill that many cards, and you may put any number of legendary creatures or enchantments from among them into your hand. If you put no cards, you put a 1/1 count on this. So, cheap creature gets through. Again, of course, you have this like abnormal bodies of like these horrifying creatures. So box 1 is pretty solid. We got the Japanese showcase of the white mythic horror in the set. Oh yeah.
Because you pulled that Japanese one.
Oh yeah, that one is pretty cool. Hopefully we can see more of those.
Yeah, that's in case you draw more, so that we can put them aside. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. This one, yeah. These ones get very pricey for these like low exclusivity cards.
It's like what class? Because like all the cards in your case say near mint, but like what classifies a card as a mint? Does a card ever get classified as mint?
So if you're not a grading company, technically you can't mint.
You can't say mint.
Yeah, because has to be through a quote unquote professional observation that it's a minted card. So everything's near mint. Primarily is because also when you sell on like websites like TCG, eBay, stuff like that, it all boils down to if there's any faults with it, but you can't say like, well, guaranteed it was a mint card, so there was no imperfections. Near mint means it could be within reason. Everything's like a spectrum of conditioning. So, of course, the lower condition you go, the more openness you have for conditioning. So, of course, a damaged card could be anything from ripped in half to like it just has enough scuffing consistently everywhere that it's just not in a great condition. There's even like if you ever want to, luckily TCG Player has a guide that kind of shows you how you would try to condition cards.
Yeah, it's tough too because like it's like I don't like this. I know there's a controversial with the PSA.
Yeah.
And like I've seen fake cards go through their company multiple times.
Yeah.
And then like when people get sold a fake one, they're like it's fake. And then like the eBayers like, oh, I didn't know they were fake. I had it graded. And then like who's at fault in that place?
Yeah.
PSA is. But apparently the only way to get results is to go to their center and complain in person.
Yeah.
So like I don't. Yeah, but like they're just. It's clear that they're rushing things out. You know, like that's the.
Especially during the 2020, 2021, where like big Pokemon boom. People want to get cards graded. And of course, there's a difference between Pokemon grading and Magic grading. Because a Magic player, they will play with multiple $100, if not $1,000 cards. But people to see like a $80 Pokemon card, if it gets graded, goes for $100. They would do that every day of the week. But Magic players like, oh, that's a Tundra that's like, $300. It's near mint. Nobody's like, I want to get that card graded. It's like, oh, I'll put that in my Commander deck. Bridge shuffle it. So, luckily, Magic players definitely like playing the cards a little more. Because people go out of the way for the Commander. Normally, for Commander, generally, you wouldn't spend that much money on your Commander. Because your Commander's typically a cheaper part of your deck. But I know people like, oh, this extended art texture foil, this card? $70 for a card that's normally 20 cents. I'll buy the $70 version. Even so much stuff, like even with sleeves, people would spend extra money just to get like the $30 sleeves that are special, textured, limited anniversary ones, just to play with them. So once when it, sorry, go back to this creature. Whenever it attacks, you manifest Dredge, and you can pay 2 mana to target one face down permanent. If it is a creature, you may flip face up. So you can flip cards over very cheap with this. The good part, when it attacks, it manifests, but you could also play this and use its ability to flip manifest immediately. Glitch Interpreter. When it's battlefield, if you have no face down card permanents, return back to your owner's hand, then you manifest. So when one or more colorless creatures you control does combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Likely manifest creatures are colorless. Edge Shredder. When it attacks, you mill 2. Whenever one or more land cards are put in the graveyard from library, you've been put in the battlefield tap. This has Crew 1, not bad. Silent Hall Creeper. That's all the way back to. Oh, it's okay. It's somebody's glasses. It's like the nerdy kid that wears the 3D glasses. And you're like
the stereotypical nerd. Hold on, I gotta get more of the.
Oh, cool. The Meat Hook Massacre 2, but Showcase for all. It's pretty solid. Nice. For all you Meat Hook Massacre fans out there, now you have multiple versions of it. Even the base version has multiple versions. Between the Creepy Crawly in the front or no Creepy Crawly. This set definitely has a lot of fun, intricate versions of cards. That gives a lot of flavor to the set. A lot of also weird hunched over creatures. A lot.
With the murders, it was the hat thing. With these ones, it's hunched over creatures.
Yeah. Jump Scare, nice. Until in turn, target creature gets +2/+2 flying. It becomes a horror enchantment creature. In addition to the flavor text, just boo.
Boo!
Boo! Ah! Apostle Film does 6 damage to target creature. Delirium. Then you exile top card of your library and you would play it. Okay. I've been seeing this card a lot. I thought it was. When I look apart, luckily it's very visually appealing and looking at. So that's awesome. Veteran Survivor. I keep want to put it over there, even though it looks cool. A lot of these cards we've already seen earlier in the stream. Oh, okay, rare. The spell.
We're starting to run into doubles already.
Yeah. So this is a 5-drop, 5/5 can be countered, Trample Haste, so that's pretty good. It also has Delirium. You can return from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finale counter, so it gets exiled afterwards. That's cool, but the fact that it's going to be consistently going out there, it's a very aggressive mono green creature. In the pit, look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast cards from the top of your library by sacrificing a non-land permanent in addition to the other costs. It's not bad. Oh, here, finally, we got one of the opinion cards. Unfortunately, it's extended art, so it doesn't have the reminder text, but opinion 4, so you would input 4 counters on it. During each upkeep, you remove 1. Most of these have when it enters, so when you play for this part, so opinion cost is also a cheaper cost, so you get the enter the battlefield effect. So for 3 mana, you get this enchantment that has draw 2 cards as card. Not bad. But eventually, when all the counters are removed, then you can start attacking with it, and then it would trigger its ability again. So that's pretty much how all these overlords work. This is the new red ley line. Is anytime an instant sorcery would that targets a single creature, you get to copy it. Oh, cool! We got another overlord. This is opinion 5s, and this is not the Japanese showcase, but it is a different alt art. When it enters the battlefield or when it attacks, you mill 4, and you may return a non-avatar creature or creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. The copy looks horrifying. It has a multi-face thing. And then you have another treasure token. Trying to get this going. Almost halfway done with this. But yeah, I think the good part is you're still seeing new rares, which is fun.
Yeah, you do want to see the new ones. You do want to see the new cards. The new strategies.
Yeah.
For Commander. I mean, it's funny because, for some reason, a lot of people who find our content online are, the terrible people on the internet.
Yeah.
But one of the guys found my interview with the head designer was Commander should only be used for banned cards, so you have a way to play them. They shouldn't be making cards for it at all. I'm like, one of those days, the cards might rotate out of standard, and they might not be playable anymore. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Luckily, Magic, I will say, even though Commander is the most popular format, there's plethora of ways to play it. There's new fan-made versions. There's new ways even Commander itself to be played. Magic recently now made Dual Commander an official format. So there's all these ways, and I think that's the reason why people should play Magic, is that you play it the way you want to. Kind of like any other game, you could adjust it the way you want to play it.
Yeah.
Commander, the reason why it's even as popular as it is because you have that 4-person version of the game where you could play with multiple people.
Commander is the most popular format.
Yeah.
Period.
This one. Yeah, but the game, I would say, if you like the competitive aspect, there's plenty of actual premier formats that could actually get you into that meta, that chasing stuff. And then even with competitive players for even like Commander, there's the CDH, plus now officially Dual Commander, Rip and Soul Hunter. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to just enjoy Magic the way you want to. Collect art you like, play anything. And of course, you could be the competitive person that plays Commanders just for the colors, just so you get the most value out of it. Or if you like cats and dogs, you can play cat dog deck.
Dogs, yeah.
Rip, Saw Hunter, Survival, that's a lot.
So I always feel like there's that's a question they try to like cover the gamut, but I always feel like there's one type of player that's going to feel left out, whether they're an extended player, modern player, standard player, commander player.
Yeah, I think, again, just enjoy the game for what it is. It's been around for 31 years because it has been so accessible and to people like...
Arguably one of the best card games ever designed, honestly. Like, it just shows in its legacy, really.
Yeah, and the fact that people... Trust me, I've quit Magic because, there's sides, it has its holes, but the thing is, luckily, this should be a hobby, and you should play it as a hobby, and you should play it for enjoyment. And there's so many ways you can enjoy this game.
Yeah, there's people who just play it for, like, if you're just playing it for the investment opportunity, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to have a good time. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, so to get the value of the card, you would have to know how the game plays. Like, I'd show you why this card looks like a basic land that doesn't really have much, as a couple $100, but a card looks very similar to it. You have to be 5 cents. Like, unless you know how the game functions, it's going to be a very strong contrast. Like, you have to know the game, and that makes you feel like it appreciates it. Like, there's people that net deck, there's people that brew their own decks, people that push the meta. There's all these things ways you could gather, like the way you enjoy the construction process of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's the people who just play it for the monetary value. I mean, we saw that with Larcan when it come off. People were just like, oh, it's worth something, and then they were just gobbling up all the product for no reason other than they had high resale value. Yeah, and that was it.
Even like with the PSA stuff, like, again, people that would grade Magic cards are grading like thousands of dollars cards, and that's like usually the introductory value of like grading cards. Yeah. You don't see people like, oh, it's a cool $50 card. Like, people are like, why would you grade that? I spent 5 times that on just my Commander.
Well, it's funny because I know there's people grade that because they put them in mystery boxes. A PSA graded card, and they throw like a common card they graded for $30 in the mystery box you bought for $100.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh yeah, there's a fear of falling. Yeah, again, I think enjoy Magic the way you want to. I would not recommend it to be a collector's game, unless if you're collecting it,
you're not going to keep up, right? That's the problem. Like, they're releasing so many sets per month now. I mean, like, I saw like the chart of how many sets Magic releases per year, and it's just like it keeps doubling every year. So like, I mean, and people keep complaining, but then they keep buying them. So like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, until they stop selling them, they're going to keep printing as many as they humanly possibly can.
Yeah. Whenever you're facing a creature, that's cool. So it's an enchantment, you manifest, and then whenever a card goes face down, you draw a card. Yeah, I think. Luckily, I've been enjoying a lot of Magic recently. It's been really good. It's been making it very accessible.
As more people start piling in your back room, the length to the stream gets worse.
yeah. It's everybody's phones automatically connect to their...
Yeah. We're trying here, folks. If it's low quality, sorry. I'm on a wireless setup here, so...
Yeah. Unfortunately, this room is like the last source of like power in the store. After you go past this wall right behind us, there's no more power outlets or anything. This is like the end of it. This place, mostly downtown Ukiah, is made pretty long ago. Like, some of these things are...
Oh, you put this in the bad pile? Really?
Oh, sorry.
It's bad? Well, I mean, like, I've seen you put bad legendaries in piles before.
Yeah, but...
Trash legendary. I'm making sure you don't put any in here that, that you're missing.
Yeah.
Because they're all foil, so they're probably really easy to get mixed up.
Oh yeah, especially I think that's a main issue with like some collector boosters that everything's full, so everything looks special. Burn Alive.
I mean, I saw that too. Like, there's certain Facebook groups that like go off about Secret Lair. They're like, "Oh, these cards are only worth $5. Why they're charging 50?" And it's just like, well, because like people may like the aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's not like the Secret Lairs are pretty reasonable priced, honestly, if you ask me.
It's one of the commanders for the Simic deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think again, if Wizards has stopped products because it has been poor received, like even Secret Lairs, like they used to be printed demand, but the problem is they realized some of them were not getting printed, so they put a finite amount of them.
Yeah, well, like I think contracts too, of like how many you're gonna print. Well, as many as but they want a finite number. You know, like because there are a lot of them are crossovers, so like they want to. How many are you gonna print exactly, so we know how much we're gonna pay as in royalties.
Yeah, that's like the Monty Python one. It was like sold out very very quickly, and I know like half the people here, because again, unfortunately, I think a lot of Magic players, there's definitely the older crowd, because again, the 30-plus-year-old game now. So some people like, I've been playing this game for 26, 27 years now. So definitely when cards I have nostalgia for are different than people like, this old card, and like, oh, what old card are you talking about? Oh, this one from 2015. What? Yeah, you're like, that's almost a decade ago, so yeah, that's probably old too, though.
When there's a good card in the Secret Lair, that's when they sell out too, right? When there's like a reprint of a card that's like, whatever. That's like $500 card, but it's a slightly different art, so it's not $500, but it's still a chase card. Is Secret Lair, like, do they use that as a way to gauge like what they do the Universes Beyond, do you think?
Maybe. I think everything is always, I think they use subsets and ideas from a lot of things. They try to, hey, 8-Bit Wizard says, hey, Greg.
Hey, Trev.
Oh. But I think a lot of the stuff, like this Japanese stuff they introduced.
There's the chases. Like, they know that there is a collectible aspect to the game, right? You got to have your chase cards.
I remember one of the first times they introduced just Japanese alt art cards was this Chandra versus Jace deck, which I think we have that came out like 2009 or so. And that thing, or 2010. And that was kind of the first idea of like, oh, Japanese alt arts. And then they would do it later, making a Chinese exclusive, I believe, Planeswalker. And then fast forward to like War of the Spark, where they had Japanese alt arts of all the Planeswalkers.
I remember War of the Spark.
But those things are inklings of things. So, like even Secret Lairs, technically, I've been collecting Magic for such a long time. Secret Lairs are kind of just like a reimagining of From the Vault. So it's like a compilement of a loose idea around it, of reprints, and then of course there was a very controversial artifact one that had Mox Diamond in it, which was an alt art of a card that didn't exist, and they kind of did that a lot with like some of that stuff from that era. This Formless Genesis card's pretty cool, but these cards eventually did. There's different things they've took ideas from and they tested it with certain products, and then eventually would expand and become this new thing. Even like the idea of a play booster, like eventually to get from the play booster, you had to get the set booster, and the set booster would evolve and become the play booster, which is what you should be opening.
And I think that they learned their lesson pretty quickly on that, because there were a lot of different SKUs for packs and people getting confused, and they scaled it back.
Yeah, so they do that a lot too. It's like, I think anything that has this like almost legacy to it, like even like going back to like World of Warcraft, that's like one of the more long-running MMOs. They pushed a lot of things and then they rolled back. Like I remember when they introduced the WoW token when that first came out, and then what is now definitely has changed. Here's Johnny.
Somebody's gonna get feet.
I know. Or even here's another one: Orphans of the Wheat instead of Children of the Corn. Yeah. So this cool part, if you look, there's this is one of the cards to stay hidden. There's another stay hidden in there. I'll just put it to the side around me. But there's another version where it has this.
Oh, I saw that earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it. I'll see if I can find it. I can be involved too. That short art is cool.
This looks like a mega, not Megadeth. Looks like a Iron Maiden cover, if I've ever seen one. Sadistic Shell Game. Starting to with the next opponent in turn order, each opponent chooses a creature you don't control. Destroy that chosen creature. Okay. Yeah, so there's these two different versions. So there's this one, where it's hidden, nothing there. And then you have the alternative version where the creature's right behind it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they altered stuff like that.
Now, do they have different numbers? Are they different numbered cards or no?
Yes, they are. So this one is
so they are different
uncommon 74. This one's uncommon 291.
Okay, so it is part. So it's not like the same card. Just
Yeah,
okay.
that's why even Meat Hook Massacre, they have that thing. So the same, it's kind of creepy because I wonder if there's like a lore behind. This is the same creature that kind of goes around all this. So it's like the thing's like just peering from art to art. Like maybe it's like an art demon. Or the role model, the nerd.
There's like a Ghostbuster card in the set too, where he has like Ghostbusting gear and like it's clear. You know what I mean? Like, which is funny.
Very pretty.
That's why I'm hoping this. If the secretly are real Ghostbusters sell well, I want a Universes Beyond real Ghostbuster set. Because you can't do a Ghostbuster set because there's too many actor bullshit stuff to go through. So, but if you do a real Ghostbuster set, hey, that's cartoon. It doesn't look like anybody.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think so far for what they've done with like full sets, though, has been tied to things that have such a plethora of characters.
Yeah, they didn't do Jurassic Park. They didn't do a full set Jurassic Park. Well, but they got the likeness rights for actors for that one. So
and they also hit every single Jurassic film too. So there's a Chris Pratt and also the early even did a Jeff Goldblum's Secret Lair essentially. My favorite one was one they did was got a nice pull so far. It's been hours of game. Okay. One of the cool cards we got was one of the Japanese showcase of the white Overlord. It was pretty cool. I think it's pretty nice. We also got a couple versions of the Meat Hook Massacre 2. I have a stack of cards, but we're probably going to go over the industry with these are just the rares and cool extended art stuff. We're still trying to look for a textured foil, hopefully. So we can get that. Especially, I haven't seen the demon, the main demon of the set, but
I'll get one. Watch when I get my supply, and I'll get
one. So far, with me and Greg opening packs, we've been when the store opens their copies, we've been very sacrificial goat to get like the pretty lackluster stuff, and then we get to like Wizard 74 packs. Wow, these are really good 4-packs.
Yeah, right. These are good 4-packs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Handpicked.
Right. Richard Garfield himself. But no, this set's been really fun looking at all these cards. There's a lot of cool things. Been enjoying seeing all these different the doors and or the rooms and seeing how everything's been going. Also seeing some of the alternate commander cards and stuff like that. It's been really fun. Talk about commander cards. We have Aminatu right here. This one's really fun, I guess. The Surveil mechanic, I'm happy they made that evergreen because when they made Scry, remember that mechanic came out, or the official keywording of it. This is really good, especially if you're a big fan of like the Theros set. So especially like an Esper / Selesnya.
I also want you to tell me good or bad commander if you pull legendary creature.
Yeah, this one, I mean, demanded commander deck, so hopefully it's okay. I mean, the original one is pretty solid. Again, talk about Meat Hook Massacre 2. We got another one. Oh yeah, there's a lot of for the precons too. There's, well, I know everybody's really excited for the Rakdos one. And of course, we got this. Kind of reminds me of again, it's that nervous nerd. Is that little skulls in the background? It kind of is.
Like a little bit of Marty McFly in there.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Doc, we're going in a mansion. It's a different plane, Marty. It's a different plane of existence.
Out of a DeLorean? No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think this said, if you like enchantments and you just don't want to wait for a Theros set, the set's definitely going to scratch that itch. And especially...
just a cool set.
Oh yeah, no, and especially...
For not being a Universes Beyond set too, even that makes it even better.
And especially with like all the nods and everything. Of course, you have cards like this. So if you play other things outside of Commander, there's been a lot of fun things too as well. Like this card's been everybody's like chock block of like good card, and also the draft and stuff like that for like limited and sealed events. There's a lot of fun things. Like even this is the 1/1 haste that lets you pseudo draw a card, so until you're into your next turn. So it's fun. But yeah, this set I think has a lot of unique ideas, and that they definitely been trying to. The manifesto. There are other ones. I know, right? No, yeah, but luckily for us, we have a lot of different things. We even tried to support as many different formats as long as we get a pooling of people here locally.
Your formats are Commander and Tiny Commander, apparently.
Yeah,
is the two
Tiny,
biggest.
Tiny Leader is really popular here.
Tiny Leader, yeah.
But we also have things. You have standard showdowns. We had a standard showdown pretty recently where somebody got the textless Urza Saga. We have other ones planned. We already have one planned for next month. We've been doing more cool things. So back in Thunder Junction, they did a Cowboy Bebop pseudo crossover, which were Japanese exclusive arts for some playable commons and uncommons, and I think a rare. But they're very Cowboy Bebop aesthetics. But those have been like prizes for the new coming up stuff. Curiosities. These ones are interesting. I like they have flash and they do cool things. Fear of sleep paralysis. So there he is. Finally, Nicole pulled one of the cool showcase versions of him. This guy's unique. Very costly, but he's a 9-mana demon that's a 9/9. Has flying lifelink, ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. So you can't even sacrifice lands to target this creature. You have to sacrifice non-land permanents. So if you keep their field pretty wide plane, they just can't target us. Use spells or abilities.
Cool purple and yellow too.
Yeah, and if a card would go to your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead, and then during your turn, you may pay life to cast their cards. That's why people are really excited for like Commander. Mono black, and of course we could cheat out. It's pretty good. There's the 5-color one that is if you want to build a room deck in Commander. This is gonna be your card you want to play for rooms. And cool, another Overlord. These ones are cool. I think the fact that pending kind of gives you like, it kind of feels like the enchantment gods where they kind of like sit there and then they eventually become this very powerful creature. But yeah, we finally pulled a demon from the set, which I was afraid we weren't going to pull because I was like, we only have these 3 packs left, so.
You've got one good card.
Yeah, no, we definitely got one.
Have you gotten your value out of the pack? So that's the question.
The thing is, a lot of these cards can be determining to see how well they fan out with like different formats.
Oh, there's the Ghostbuster card I was talking about. Yeah, he totally has a PKE meter. That's Paranormal Analyst. Like he's totally a Ghostbuster card.
I love the definite like they're pushing the idea of like different.
I'm gonna take a picture of that because that's funny. That's a funny.
Conductive Machete. That's funny. A lot of stuff. Rite of Moth. Is it thing being consumed by moths? That sounds horrifying. Return target creature from the graveyard to battlefield with the finale. Okay, it just comes back. And also like in this set with like the commons and commons having various different versions of them. Also like the fact that because he's like the ruler of this plane, essentially, he's in all the basic arts. Unidentified hover ship, but on UFO. When it's battlefield, exile to 1 creature with power 5, toughness 5 or less, and then leaves battlefield return. So it's a O-ring on a creature. It's not bad. Entity Tracker, Flash. Whenever an enchantment you control enters or whenever you open a room, draw a card. Not bad. Definitely playing with that in the room deck. Creature Eye. Oh, I just realized, like, what am I looking at? I realized this whole background right here is just a giant eyeball. As an additional cost, this spell, exile 6 cards from your graveyard. Okay. So 3 mana, 5/5, flying. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, manifest a dread. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. It's really solid. 5/5 for 3. Not bad. Got another room. These rooms are really cool. I like the fact that you either have a static ability or when you unlock the room. So when you unlock this one, if it doesn't have the same name room, reveal it, put it in your hand. Another one is at the beginning of your upkeep. Surveil 1, you win the game. There's 8 or more different names among unlocked door rooms. Okay, so this is probably put in that 5-color room deck. Having those win cons are pretty good.
I just tweeted, I said, we have Ghostbusters at home.
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, we also have Childer Corn at home. We also have...
Is this a comic? Can I have this?
Yeah, you have it. If you find the other ones, you have all of them too. But yeah, I like this. The set's been really fun because it has like different interpretations, like what horror is and different forms.
They really passed the gamut between like your 80s classic horror to early 90s horror to even like, I mean, just, yeah, it's
Japanese horror.
Jaws. I mean, Jaws is in this. Like, I mean, like they really do. It's very film inspired.
In this manner is apparently enough large body of water to have a megalodon, but you know.
It's a plane.
Yeah, but I just like it because it's all confined within a house. So.
Oh, sick.
So just like
spitter.
Our fish tank, how big is it? It's like, an ocean. What? Yeah, I like these glimmers. Pretty cool. Glimmers an interesting new creature type too. They're like, especially with the aesthetic so dark. These things are like definitely like positive. So these foils are. Luckily, if you hit the right angle, you can kind of see more details on it. But it definitely makes the foils feel more impressive in person. I would say this set definitely. Toy Story? Just kidding. Whenever it's like Sid's.
You would think it's Sid stuff.
Yeah. Indestructible. It's called Giggling Skitter Spite. Okay. Whenever it attacks, blocks, or becomes a target with spell ability, it deals damage to each opponent. Oh. And you can pay the monstrosity cost of 5, and it becomes. Okay, it's crazy. It's also indestructible. It's kind of runs like a stuffy doll, but it gets big.
Oh, I remember Stuffed Doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. When you start seeing cards that I recognize when playing, I mean, for those of you watching, I haven't really played Magic competitively since 10th. But, like, I remember those cards. I remember those cards. They made waves then. They're still making waves now.
Yeah. I think this card's really fun, especially if you're trying to do... Because, luckily, landlines, you don't actually really pay attention to mana costs. But the thing that really matters is that, because you can start the game off with it, getting double effects off your pump spells is pretty good. All right. And this is our last pack. And thanks for everybody like watch streams for both the first thing that you did with Greg with the whole Pokemon stuff and then now this. And also it's just been fun. And of course you'll be getting more of Duskmourn
soon.
Yeah.
Back from Japan.
Yeah.
I'm actually like I have a lot of requests to buy cards in Japan actually, which is funny.
Oh no, trust me. I think my friend that was just there recently and I was like, don't give me stuff because I know you probably got berated by all your coworkers and everything. Like, don't bring back everything. It's like money and then also traveling, but yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see what you get there.
Malachi's like, give me as many Japanese Okana cards. I'm like, oh, okay. I should bring like $2,000 worth. Where's my $2,000? Where's the $2,000, Malachi?
It's okay. He works at In-N-Out, so
works out.
He gets paid more than most people.
He does. Yeah.
All right, but yeah, this is the last pack. I like this dashing bloodsucker. Yeah, a lot of these cards again. They'll say, luckily they double down, so it's not specifically like only triggers off rooms unlocking, so they usually pad it with like an enchantment or this. So this card's cool. Haunted Scream. It's attached for black or white. I get it. So it's a black or white TV, but you can pay life to make it a color TV. Pay 7, put 7/1 counters on Haunted Scream becomes a 0. Okay. One card needed is a Grievous. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of fun cards in this set that just. I think this set has a lot of things that I can make, especially for like Commander format. It's gonna be very exciting. We've seen this card a bunch. Red Dress Fate. Okay. Return all artifacts and enchantment cards from graveyard to the battlefield. 8 mana is a lot, but the manifest cost is not bad. It's good. It's like replenish, but it's miracle replenish. Commander legal, so I guess it's only eternal. Victor, it's a little follower. Enters fully unlocked rooms, roll 2. If this is the first time this ability's resolved this turn, it's second. Each opponent discards a card a third time. You put a creature card from okay, that's not bad. And this, and the final card is that same card but foil. Not bad. I mean, again, big payout card. One that's decided for is this one.
Did you make would you say, like, the 2 collectibles, did you make your money back?
It's hard to say at the moment.
Because it's too early, right?
Too early.
The meta. Let me see your no-go pile. Make sure you didn't throw any other rares in there.
Maybe. I might have. On accident. But, yeah, I think these showcase purple, yellow cards are really fun. I think The aesthetic is very drastic comparatively to other things. Of course, there's so many different rooms. The ley lines are fun. Let's see if we can see. And some of the mythics are just cool too, like this thing that's just it's a 5/5 flying. The commander cards are fun too. We got a good chunk of the overlords. The only white one we got was the Japanese showcase one.
Can I have the spirit card?
Definitely.
Yeah. I just think they're cool Ghostbuster cards.
I would like to see the texture for this one because instead of being yellow and purple, it's all black with this purple part being all red, and it's also textured and raised. So I think that card would look really cool.
What's Grievous Wounds?
Oh, sweet.
That sounds like it's that sounds like it's a reprint of a card.
Let's see. I wonder if we got any. But there's a lot of cool. I think this set just has a lot.
You got like their pile's pretty big.
Yeah,
which is good. The good pile. For those of you watching, Cody separates the piles of like good cards and then cards.
We got the new Hookmaster. We got this both the showcase full and non-full. I think it's a fun one. Let's see. Full Demon one. There's some cards we also didn't see too. Like the snake is a really cool one. I think people are really excited for the snake, especially for decks that care for like life.
Glimmers, yeah. Glimmers are cool too. The concept of the glimmers are cool.
Yeah. Got also the Hookmaster 2, normal one. Lord of Pain split up. Yeah, there's. I think just generally there's so many fun things. We got the new land. Also has this hexproof land, but it's enchantment land, so technically it would help feed your enchantment. We also there it is, Grievous Wound. There you go. This is the card you're talking about, General Dummel. Yeah, so they can't gain life, and then each time damage it was round up. So essentially, each time they take damage, they just lose half life consistently.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's good at beginning games. I see. Yeah, what? How much is this card?
Oh, I forget off the top of my head. Of course, today is the pre-release day, so everything is now able to purchase today. So, but official releases again a week from today. Today is the pre-release. So if you have any local game stores, make sure to try to visit them. Most stores that are WPN stores will be having events today, and we'll continue to have events from now until Foundations that come out, I think, in November. There's also store championships for different things. They'll be various formats, usually standard, most likely. But any events that's a premier format could be supplementarily done with a limited format, so either still the draft. Keep an eye out for all your local game stores to see what availability they have for different events. Of course, Commander is very popular. Make sure to pick up the Commander decks if you enjoy them. And of course,
$4 card.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun things. Like, of course, the good part about Magic is like cards fluctuate consistently.
Yeah, it's like a real life economy. It really is a real life economy.
Yeah, like for example, like there's a card from Modern Horizons 2. It's a uncommon. It's called not Consign the Memory, but it's a uncommon 1 blue mana. That pre-con looks fun. I mean, of course, I have a favoritism for Rakdos because I've been playing for decades now. I prefer Jund over Rakdos, but Rakdos is part of Jund, and I've also played Jund like Pioneer, Rakdos Sacrifice decks. But Rakdos just has a good feel because it's like it definitely bears it all with like paying life, sacrifice creatures, just throwing it all out there. It can be very aggressive. Of course, it just have fun cards, especially with like black-red demons. You can definitely get a little spicy with them because like there's kind of like a all investment. But yeah, no, I think luckily with the set, there's definitely a lot of support for everything. If you also just like the aesthetic, there's a lot of fun aesthetics.
Yeah, the aesthetic is really cool. Like it's always the aesthetic is a big draw to people. Always. And
this year, Magic has been really fun. Good. You want a cowboy? If you said cowboy, Clue,
talking creatures,
Grim Fairy Tale, Redwall, horror theme, and that's all standard, I wouldn't like.
Yeah, and it's all like original IP too. It's not like it's not like Universes Beyond. So. And
then on top of that, you also would have Assassin's Creed, Fallout. There's even like fun secret layers like the Monty Python one, now this Ghostbusters one, and the Chucky one that's coming out soon too. So all these cool like crossovers, and I think it's a really fun time to be in Magic, and you can definitely cater your deck to make it so you, and you can express yourself with like so many cards. I think it's a really fun time in Magic. Of course, I've been seeing people that have been venturing off of Commander to other formats too. So we've been having more standard events. But yeah, everything's just really fun, and I think just right now, just Magic is in a good spot where I think it's a good time to live and be in it right now.
Perfect. All right, I do have to head out.
Yeah.
We're late, but Cody, thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, shout out to the Sword and Board in Ucala, California. If you're local in Mendocino County, this is where the local game store is. 60 miles south of Santa Rosa. Like, you're the largest product here that's not in Santa Rosa, within 60, 120 mile radius.
Yeah.
60 mile radius or whatever, yeah. So yeah, please come check them out. We do this stuff when we have product in, when the store gets product in for Pokemon, Magic. I'm trying to get Lorcana to be a thing as well. So yes, so please follow, subscribe, and do all that jazz. And we're going to be streaming our Pop Goes Culture show in about 25 minutes. So I'll see everybody later.
Yep.
I'm reaching.